It's back to good.
Yeah, the Kaja. No. Unfortunately, we're all out of the Kajas. Is the Heat Riser good enough for you? That's Nuzlocke routing? Oh, I haven't really done any routing. Off-strim. I'm sure today is mostly going to be walk around, beat some normal trainers, get a bunch of encounters, and then figure out how the hell to do Moko. Maybe we'll get to the SDM. And, and then probably proceed to die. Use SMP as usual. I mean, I could tell you that one. How do you get good? It's really simple. It's the same way you get good at 99% of things. It's you sit down and you spend the time at it. Get good efficiently. You play, and then you slowly begin to realize, okay, doing this is better, and then you're just going to start doing that, and then you spend a lot of time in it. There's a shortcut to getting good at a lot of things. It's a really easy shortcut because it only has one part to it. It's just called spend over 1,000 hours at it. Too much. The amount of drive you have to get better can determine how quickly you get better to an extent. But trapped off. Disgusting. Like, the cap part of this attack is not too bad, and then it just devolves into random chaos. Nice. They're closed today. Yeah, most banks are usually closed on like Sunday, or at least some bank. I said most. I have no clue if it's most. My only experience with banks is that they tend to be closed on Sundays. Have I ever talked about how much fun this attack is? I wonder if there's merit going left, right, left, right. Too much. Yeah, that's a good one. Overclose. Why'd you leave with that? Because, you know, there are automated services online. Like, all the banks have their own online accounts and everything. So it's like, oh, if you need to do something with that, of course that's open. Like, if you need something else, it's like, oh, closed. Service calls, yeah. I'll never trust bankers. Not because of, like, some, like, oh, they rule the world's conspiracy theory, but simply because I went in to open my bank account. Because, like, I had a previous bank account under my name, but it was, like, account I had when I was younger that was under my mom. Like, my mom opened in my name, but, like, it was technically under both of our names. So I need to open one on, like, my own. You know, just for my name that doesn't have my mom's name on it. So I went in to, like, go open an account. And the process went fine. But the thing that I don't trust about them is the chick that was there was way too nice. Like, are you trying to get me to, like, buy something? She was too nice. No human is as smiley and as, like, pushy as she is when it comes down to, like, getting things done. I'm too, like, concerned that it's, like, am I being scammed? That's what it felt like, almost. It's like, am I getting scammed? She was too nice. Damn sick micro. Oh, yeah. Pretty good payment on the guy. Yeah. Especially in the wake as of recent, right? When, like, so many places have been getting, like, oh, you know, you can't buy things from there. Like, It's like, aren't you offering a service? Being able to use money through your bank? Why are you deciding what can and cannot be bought through? Okay, yeah. There's too many, okay, too many. There's a number of those Japanese sites where it's like, oh boy, here's this nice thing I'd like to buy. It's a shame there isn't also porn they sell on this site, and then MasterCard's like, no, we're not gonna allow on this one. Nope. So there was a recent thing done by the president towards a similar line of thinking. I actually read through a bit of the bill. I didn't go through all the specifics. Curious to see how it's going to affect things, but whatever. What? Oh, that might be the dumbest micro I've ever seen. What? The first one was kind of like, oh, I messed up my line, might as well bank on this micro. The second line was impossible. What the? And crypto could be useful. Crypto could be useful if it actually was what it was, like, hyped up to be. If it wasn't, you know, but too bad it ended up being, you know, 99% scam, people trying to do get-rich-quick schemes and trying to trip dumbasses into giving up their money. Being like, oh yes, guys, here's your investment. Just invest in this new crypto, guys. I assure you, it's not a rug pull like every other crypto has been. Because theoretically it could be fine, but then there's no regulation. But there's no regulation towards it, so it's like all just like scams and shit essentially. But if you do start regulating it, then it kind of is like, okay, well, is it any different from a regular currency at that point? So it kind of loses its appeal. Doesn't, yeah. Like, kind of the idea of some, like, other currency that's not through the normal banks is theoretically an interesting idea. It's just, we have seen the effects of what crypto has done. I think we're finally at a point where, like, basically everyone's like, yeah, crypto's just a scam, move on with it, but, you know. Themselves, yeah. Ooh, I almost panicked right back into it. Bank workers are the most honest people on earth compared to car rental people. Sick timeout. gamer. Ha! You know it. Yo, I want to say, I despise the word gamer when it's used unironically. If it's used ironically, it's fine. This is the most dishonest corpo. Car rentals are up there. Problem is, I have no experience with like car rentals. Or very okay, no experience. I have extremely little experience. I don't know. There's a lot of dishonest corporations. I mean, oftentimes the way to get big is by kind of being dishonest. Playing cards with falls off. I've never seen that issue. I've only ever heard people talk about that in like meme form. I've never experienced that issue. Should always play a little vertically on bumper crop. You get the car you go to rent. The thing is, I've never rented a car. When I got a little after I got my license, I got a van handed down for me that was my mom's old van that my older sister used, but then she ended up getting a different car eventually, so I had that that van for half a year. And then I've been working a bit up to that point, had a bit of money. So then I, with help from particularly my grandma, actually bought a car. I paid for about a third of it up front. She covered the rest, and then I paid the rest off her over the next year and a half. And I've had that car ever since. And I've never gone anywhere where I need to rent a car or anything. No international traveling or something. I have an aunt who lives in Spain. Actually, no, she lives in the Netherlands now. She lived in Spain for a while. She moved to the Netherlands recently. Anyway, she comes in for a couple weeks every year because her mom's in the area. Anyway, she and her husband, their kids come in, and they always rent a car. But that's about my most experience. Thoughts on Waymo? Waymo, he's nuts. What's Waymo? Your fluid renewal, yeah. I'm also fortunate that my car has had has had basically like no mechanical issues ever over the years. Like I get my oil change, I've got new tires a couple times, I got like new brakes once. That's about it. I've never had any issues other than usual routine. That was a little suboptimal. Maybe I shouldn't have done that micro, but I did, and you cannot stop me. Bad. That was very makeable. At least self-driving cars. Yeah, I don't live in an area where, like, that type of thing could exist, though. Like, Uber slash taxis do exist in my area, but it's not something that, like, it's not, honestly, even that big of a thing at all. Flying cars being right around the corner. Hey, according to Back to the Future, we're supposed to have flying cars by now. Oh, I'm disappointed. Not enough people answer where the best spot to sit on the airplane was. 11 didn't even give an answer. Kind of disappointed. Which left? Just go look at the meme in the Discord, and then figure out where the seat is. Anything that's not 6 is objectively wrong. It's a kick Suwako's chair. Okay. Suwako the least annoying. Well, I'm gonna have to repop up the image. Like when I save an image, I just frantically click on my keyboard, just a bunch of things. Okay, let's get this back up. Boom. Okay, so I'm thinking shit, it's like, oh, like it doesn't fill the screen properly. Here, hold on, let me Okay, so this is the thing. It's like, where are you sitting? It's like I think the answer here is obviously 6. Um, I'm pretty sure everyone can obviously say 1 is really bad, or what 1 is really sketchy. Like Aki and Yukari is just not what you want to see probably. I think 2 is pretty good. It's Sega. Sega's the thing that has me concerned about 2. But I'm not sure if like she being behind you is that like how bad that is. Because like I think the next Yokina and being right behind Yuko, I think that's fine. It's just whether how bad Sega is. 3 is obviously. I was about to say obviously. I think if you can somehow get along with Seiya, fine. I have hesitations about that working though. 4, the 4 is either you help Tay just annoy the shit out of Racing, and then Tay is on your side the entire time, or Tay is just after you, and that's a problem. 5 is dangerous. Not only do you have to deal with Tay right in front of you, and that's an issue, next to Yugi and Suika, I feel like that's an issue. 6, being behind Suika is not necessarily optimal, but I don't think it's that bad. I think like being next to Kaneko and Suwako are probably like the most fine, and Komachi's just going to be asleep behind you, right? So I don't think like I think 6 is probably the best. 7, Tenchi is such a coin flip. It's like you have to deal with Tenchi. Is that good enough or is that a problem? Also, the thing about 6 is that you have the aisle, right? Is like you're on the aisle, so you're not locked in. Thank you for the raid 0, dude. We're playing Touhou, but we're in the middle of something first. And 8, I think 8 is just way too dangerous. Like, being between that mess are just... The problem is, if you're in 7, I don't know what Moko's doing to you, right? So I think the answer's 6. I can see 4. 2, I'm a little bit of a believer in, personally. It just depends on how bad the Sega being behind you is, right? Take the 7C next to Tenchi. You're not the only one I've heard that before. Sit next to Tenchi. There are too many Tenchi simps in this world. Unbelievable. And I died. I blame myself for that one. So that would get you killed? What it? Like, I think 7 is fairly tame. It's just like, how bad is it to sit next to Tenchi? Like, is it that bad, or can you get along with her? Like, I don't think Moko being behind you is a problem. We're assuming we're landing in one piece. Like, they might fight, but like realistically, it's going to be more bickering between them, not an all-out brawl, right? If we're talking about like a plane ride, like disaster. Because like I still think 2 is decent. The question is like, is Sega gonna be a real problem? If you were next to her, I'd say no in a heartbeat. But if you're in front of her, is it that bad? See, better than yeah, but she's a masochist though. You just threaten to beat her up and she'd like you. That's how it works, right? Sega leaves you. Well, yeah, that's the question I want to know, is, like, how bad is that Seiga there? Because, like, as much as I like the Isle, it's like, being behind Yuyuko, I think, is perfectly fine. I don't think Yuyuko's doing shit. I don't think she's going to be problematic. And I don't think being next to Okina is bad much. Like, I think of the issues, she's one of the least issues. So the problem is, like, how bad is Seiga being behind you? Is it bad? Four, again, just comes down to, like, how bad Tay is. Right? Could possibly still 3 hours straight. I don't think anyone is arguing 1 is... Here's the good thing about 1. I picked up Twitch stuff. You don't have to... You don't have to worry about your life. You don't have to worry about getting trolled, right? You don't have to worry about people messing with you. It's just... Yeah, that's the thing. The spot next to Eiki is safe. That is the one thing that has. Though I will still say... So it's not the worst option. But it's definitely still not top of the list. I still think 6 is fine, because I think Kaneko and Suwako are fine. I think they're just... I don't think there's an issue sitting next to them. Like, Suwako has always come across as the more happy-go-lucky. This is why you always play vertically. Give yourself the most options on bumper. And I think Kaneko's a little haughty, but I don't think she's, like, that bad. You like the KKD Aki option, honestly? I don't think it's that bad. I just think... I think after the first hour, it would drag on really quickly. And you get along with Aki well. If you listen attentively, because, like, Komachi doesn't, like, listen to her, right? Like, Komachi just kind of, like, slacks off and, like, ignores her half the time. So, I think there is a world where it's like, if you're able to listen attentively, she might like you. And that might help out a lot in the lecturing problem, right? So I guess it's like, how good of a mood is she in beforehand? I don't think being in front of Yukari is bad. Personally. Although, if you want to listen on conversation, personally, I still think 6 is best. I can't not pick 6. Like, there's the only other option I could think of is 4 being better. But that was really hit or miss as to, like, how much can you get on Tay's good side. Such a Kaneko blazer. Well, it's also Kaneko and Suwaka we're talking about. That's why I said 2. It doesn't look that bad. Lobago. Yeah, how's he do with Seiga? That's I said. That's the problem with the Okina scene. It's not Okina, it's Seiga. Right, a follower in pieces. I don't think Kaneko's leaving you in pieces. Like, isn't she pretty, like, tame when it comes down to dealing with humans? Also, where's this plane going? that all these people are a part of. Master SMH. Why would I do that to myself? Damage grid? No, that actually wasn't in the damage grid. I went to the side, but I just misread it to the side. Like, I am 10 times less concerned sitting next to Kaneko than I am sitting next to Yugi. Yeah, Kaneko's pretty simple. That's what makes me think Kaneko is a fine pick to sit next to, because she seems to be a relatively civil and pretty peaceful person, generally speaking. I know she's behind some incidents, but... I think. Do you think? I feel like Tenchi's one of the worst options on the plane. I feel like it's far quicker that you could get along and like with Kei to like bully Raisin than it is you could get along with Tenchi and not have her cause a problem. Okay, dude, this is an 8-hour plane ride. What am I doing? This is an 8-hour plane ride we're on. Tenchi's whole thing is that she gets bored easily and then wants to cause problems when she's bored. Simply for her amusement. Dude, you're 1 hour in. What do you think she's doing to you? On a plane. Passionate kissing? Yeah, let me know how that goes for you. And she well known for her like of humans. Enough knowledge about Tenchi to judge her. Yeah, well, the only one to judge people is, like, Aki, right? I like June more than Shion. It's a very slight thing at this point. I do quite like both of them. Like, the only people who like Shion more are either the Yuri enjoyers or, the people who only looked at character profiles and never actually went through all of 15.5. And 17.5. What the frick was that? What do you mean get your man? Like 11 is a Tenchi simp. Okay. We knew this over a year ago, okay? So maybe it's a final. Yeah, I ended up being a bit to the side on one of them. So it delayed it like another. But it's generally fine. I've found that playing vertical as of late is a good thing on bumper crop. It gives you a lot more plays, and it makes it generally just safer. As long as you're paying attention. What do you mean S-word? What S-word? If it's TOS, then maybe don't say it, but, like, what are you talking about? Suck, damn. I'm Twitch banned simp. Oh. This is not the first time simp has been used in this chat by me or other people here, okay? Gypsum in Discord like 2 days ago called you a Tenchi simp as well, huh? Okay, and now here comes Cinnamon, ready to do his usual. Cinnamon went like 3 days without getting an auto-mod warning. It was too much for him. What does that message mean? Why would they get rid of it when Gaylord is a town that is like a few hours away from where I live? How close you are to Yukari. If she wants to troll you for something. Well, here's the thing. Yukari, like, we're going into this assuming you don't, like, assuming they don't know who you are. If you're not next to Yukari, she's not going to troll you. That's the thing about Yukari, right? Like, if you're sitting over there, you know, right next to Kaneko, what the fuck does Yukari know about you? It's like, ah, yes, this person that I totally know. It's like, you want to sit with Momiji. Momiji's a rat. There's no pleasing people. I'm sorry, the correct answer is to sit next to Yugi and get your arms broke. Is that the answer you want? I'm not saying the Kaneko's seat is perfect. I'm just saying it's, I think, the best one on that plane. 7th April. There is, unfortunately, no immediate Cassette seat. There is one right behind Cassette if you want to sit next to Seija. Why would she do that? Yugi's whole thing is challenging people to fights. Her whole thing is valuing strength. I think the Eiki option is pretty solid. I think it's probably like the second or third best on there. But I don't think it's the best. Actually, what am I talking about? 11. Eiki is going to look at you look through her book of records on people, be like, this is all the questionable Tenshi content this guy's looked over the years, and sit there for forever, like, ranting. What the fuck is this, Hina? Good grief. I'm trying to talk, and Hina's trying to fuck me over the entire time. Practice paying off. Hey, I'm at, am I up to 9 days in a row with, no, what is that? Hold on. Maybe 7, 8. I'm up to 10 days in a row of playing Touhou with the Hina final timeout, so, hey. Time to put some work. That could Seiya possibly be. The thing I said is, like, if you could somehow, like, just nod along with Seiya and agree to her antics, then I could see it, but the problem is, I don't think that's gonna work. Seiya's never gonna like you. She's always gonna want to be a problem, because that is Seiya personified. You do not want to have to deal with her. Seiya Throne of the Immortals, yeah. That was really suspect. Sometimes I do that part properly, and sometimes I don't. But characters don't care about humans. Most all characters don't care about humans, like... But, like, in what sense for some of them, right? Like, I'd say Tenchi doesn't care about humans, but she does that in a very different way than someone like Kaneko. Actually, I think Kaneko's probably one of the people who cares more about humans because she needs her faith. That was terrible. I need to go left. I forgot about the crisscross mechanic we need to do on this stupid attack. What the fuck was that? What? Why was that wave like that? Did I just not kill the guy fast enough? I must not have just killed him fast enough. Pop, 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 pop. Great suckening. It's me on stage 3 today. Surely we bounce back in stage 4 though. Smooth, symbolic plate. Because I don't think there's people gonna sit here and argue that, like, there's any option on that plane that's perfect. I think it's just because, like, you could go through every Touhou character and be like, here's a problem with them. Here's why you do not want to deal with them. I think it's about risk assessment and determining what the safest course of action is. Towards your sanity as well. Like, I don't think Iki's gonna kill you, but you better be damned. Well, maybe you should be careful, because, like, you're a person, you've probably lied before. Did you see what she did when she saw Marissa that one time? I'm gonna have to rip out your tongue. Use 100% save. Okay, 99% of Touhou characters. And a 14-seconder, not bad at all. Slap you around. I'm more concerned with her just lecturing you for, 8 hours straight. For the last time, it is a sin to get off to armpits. Not the quickiest doo-doo I've ever doo-dooed. Stage 4, stage portion is so much easier than stage 3's, dude. Holy moly. Stage 3, the hardest stage in this game, confirmed. I didn't grade enough bullets there. That was kind of bad. World code to the young use. I mean, knowing Aki, I wouldn't put past, like, anything, okay? Like... a bit more of a sinner than I am. Here's the thing, I do kind of agree with you, but I'm just saying broadly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like... Earplugs is a sin. Avoiding being lectured by Yama is a sin, and you will be punished thoroughly. One of these days I gotta do just... Fucking... I hate this spell. This spell is far worse than fucking Peerless Wind God. At least Peerless Wind God does what it does. Good fucking grief. One of these days I gotta sit down that spell for like a few hours. Oh, I had a good move, and then I blanked right after it. Like whether or not you believe envy to be a sin directly and how like severe. Pretty sure it's pretty standard moral code to believe that jealousy and envy is wrong. Whether or not you say that for religious purposes or not. Self-defense is not a crime, depending on who you ask. And potentially the extent of it. And what caused... Why did I go over here? This is not the post. I guess it's fine. It's better to go left than right there, but right than left, I guess, does work. No, 10,000 faith! Same as nice spell. Spell names are not something that you generally always aim to. You look at, right? Okay, calm down, Snide. Calm down, girl. Sometimes. Yeah, I know some sometimes, but like it's generally... It's probably amplified a bit more as being the person playing the game, where it's a lot rarer to like look at the spell name. But even watching, it's like there's so much else going on that's like oftentimes you just kind of like don't look at it. I learn a lot of the spell names kind of just because the prac, right? Because I gotta like find the spell name to like practice it, and I kind of just like directly learn a lot of the names, or not a lot, but some of them at least. The ones I practice the most, you tend to learn the name just because just. No Shizua spell? It's Falling Leaves of Madness, at least on Lunatic. I know because I've made jokes about the name of that spell before. Can't fool me with that one. I only know because I've sat there and been like how much of an extremely emotional person she is to think that that is madness for being Falling Leaves. Puppet research? Nope. Or, okay, I say no. Like, basically none. Barely any. I looked at a few, like, types, like, a few, like, stances and a few, like, movesets, and that's about it. The bottom line will be friends. You're braver than most, Spooter. Although, like, I still feel like the Oni are just a little too questionable. Although, if you're getting boozed, you know, then I can see. You know, never mind. Although, the problem is they might try to, like, booze you up a little too much, knowing their drinking habits, but... It's probably better than sitting next to Sage at the bare minimum. Oops. It's fine. I hate this fairy so much. It's not like this fairy's that bad. Like he's bad, but he's not that bad. But I hate him so much. He's such a stressful thing to deal with. He's drink someone like you. I think Yuki would. I think Suika would. I think Suika will party with anyone. Yeah, well, that's the thing about the Hakari, her, like, just because she parties all the time. I think she's more than willing to drink with anyone. Fuck my own ass. I hate Divine Crop sometimes. Oh, really disgusting hole. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. What? Also, I could not sit next to the Onis, especially and like drink with them, because here's the thing. Like, I'm not an alcohol drinker, really, like, much at all, but, like, there are some things I'll like. I do not like sake. I'll say, maybe it's just the stuff I've had is not good, but, like, sake is not good, in my opinion. There are probably good, like, sweet sakes that I'd probably be fine with, but... Oh, I cut back too quickly. I saw the line, but I... Really, girl? Oh well. 7 miss is 7 miss. Shit about alcohol? Yeah, I don't particularly care for alcohol either. I'll try alcohol when I've, like my brother, I'm hanging out with him or hanging with my friends and some people are drinking. I'll try stuff, but... Get the LNN right? Yeah, 7 misses, I mean, it's just 7 misses away from getting the LNN, so... I'm already a little put off by alcohol, and not gonna lie, working in the alcohol business makes me realize how much people drink. And that kind of puts me off of it. And also, personally, the amount of people I've seen that, for various reasons, get in trouble because of copious amounts of alcohol. The Bao Caps does have a slight different feel, but I wouldn't even say it's that much. Like, the difference between, like, when I'm, like, timing out Bao versus when I'm capping it is that the pressure is significantly higher. Even if I'm not, like, on a good pace. Like, if I'm doing it in practice, I'm generally pretty lax. Like, there are times when a tight dodge happens and my heart skips a beat. And it gets me a little adrenalized, but, like, that's the big issue with the Bao G. And that's one of the reasons why I like, capping it, or not capping it, timing it out, because it just gets me more playtime on it, and that was stupid. Stupid. And that's ultimately the biggest thing I want, is, like, to learn the harder, like, to learn how to dodge the harder waves first. But the problem is just doing it enough that every time I get to it on a run, I'm not as stressed out. Like, I'll still be stressed out of it, especially if I'm on, like, a really good pace. But I believe personally one of the biggest reasons I got my PCB LNN when I did was because I literally spent the previous day spending like 2 hours just practicing Yuyuka over and over again. And I was significantly more comfortable on that Yuyuko fight than I usually was, even as stressed as I was. Like, oftentimes it's just having the experience on something that you've done it so many times that it's almost instinctual. Muscle memory, almost. Like, any major location aside from the village in Gitsukia, where would you live? Join the conversation. I was going to join in, but I need to sit down and read that a bit. You get consistent Sumizome. I don't know if I would say I got really consistent, but I got good enough to have definitely a plus, you know, over 50% cap rate on it by the end of it, and enough to like be confident knowing that I have my lines, that I have my plays for it. I think if I were to pick where to... I think... I would have joined the conversation, but I want to read the entire thing that you presented, and the only way for me to have read that was to, like, go into a conversation where I sit down and actually read it. I can't read... I can read, like, one-sentence-long messages in the middle of runs, but I can't read, like, paragraphs. I'm gonna say Iente or Morai Shrine. Probably one of the two. Probably the safe spots. That's definitely one of the bigger reasons for picking those two. I'm gonna pick the Lands of the Back Door. I'm not Land of the Back Door. Go and be Okita's blood slave. No, I am not going to Sukuna. Playing it back door, just fuck with Okina. Yeah, let me know how long that's gonna last. Let me know how long you're gonna be able to get away with that. Last I checked, it pretty quickly turned into her fucking with you, and are you dead? I think Morai Shrine is a pretty solid pick. If you don't want to deal with the religious facet of it, though, I think Iente is the play. Then I think it's how much you're willing to deal with the religious stuff of it. Capital? You mean the lunar capital? I'll go to the underworld and try to befriend Satori. No, I still say Iente or Morai Shrine. One of the two. Moon Rabbit wife and retire. Yeah, until the Moon Rabbit wife gets sent off to war and dies. I'm gonna go pick Hell's Blood Pools and go live with Yuma. Let's see how that goes. I think Iente, if you can deal with Tay, is like the most peaceful place you could probably live. Let's go to the fantasy ruins with you, Mamie and Cheery. Magic would be toxic to normal people. I believe so. However, I think if you pick the Force of Magic, I would allow that. Peaceful. I think it's the most peaceful place on average in Gensokyo. If we're not picking the human village. Like between Moko and Kage. How much of that is like affects Iente as a whole? Isn't a lot of that Kage going out and going to fight Moko? I'm not trusting the Kappa. I'm not going... There's no chance I'm going to go get my ass bone removed by the Kappa. I would say if you pick Makai, or if you pick the Force of Magic, some lore experts will be like, meh, I'll say you're fine with the toxic air. Personally. How do you breathe on the moon if you're a human, huh? How about that? What do we do with that, huh? If you're gonna pick the lunar capital, how do you breathe there? I'm gonna allow that. Much better. It's also a good gateway into being lonely. Is the fairy tree in the Forest of Magic? The old one? There's a new one? Near the Hakushin. Fairy manga, there's a swimsuit clown piece. Oh my gosh! Bunk with Yomu. I don't know how great the Netherworld is. Also, Yomu kind of head empty. Don't know if she's someone I want to deal with. And Yuiko's weird. I like Yuiko, but she is a weird individual. Like, I think the Mirai Shrine is probably the most safe and secure place if you can like deal with the religious aspects. If you don't want that, I think Iente, like Tay, might be a bit of a little rat at times, but I think like Aaron's really chill. Kaguya doesn't really do a whole lot of anything. Racing, I like... What the fuck's racing gonna do to you, I feel like? Like, I don't think that, Aaron's gonna really, just be like, oh yeah, racing, go fuck with them all you want, who cares? Friends are cool, just go live with Byakuran. Yeah, I think the Mioran Temple is perfectly fair. I don't think I picked the Mioran Temple. Makai, isn't Makai like related to? Is it like hell adjacent? Not like in terms of physical location, but I'm talking about in like thing. Isn't it just demons? Basically, mind break you and not in a good way. But what? Like, how often does she do that? How often is she going around mind breaking people and causing you to lose your sanity? I feel like if you're living at Iente, I don't think that. Like, I'm gonna go under the assumption if you're living somewhere, you can get along fairly well with the people there. Okay, I'm not, like, assuming you're somewhere and everyone hates you. Unless you're a type of person people are gonna hate. And, like, what? If, at the very least, if you get along with them, what the fuck? Like, Aaron's just gonna be like, oh yeah, Racing, you can go drive him insane, who cares? Like, I'm not pretending you're sitting here, like, being best friends with Aaron or anything. I'm just saying, like, if you live at Iente, you know, with the rabbits and shit, it's like, I feel like the worst thing you got is, like, Tay pranking you. Which could be a problem. Don't get me... Sorry, I think for sure that's a bit of a problem. But, like, I think it's one of the most chill problems, comparatively. Ah, fuck! Right at the end, too. I should have gone left. I saw the gap on the right and I tried to weave it. I didn't realize there was a nice, clean line to the left. I saw the diagonal top right to bottom left bullet, and I was like, I can't go left here, but it was steeper than I thought it was. I thought it was a lot shallower. Kasumi? She's a character from Persona 5 Royal, if I'm not mistaken. Start neutral because people have to make friends with your own choice. Yeah. I think if you're in a location, people are fine enough with you being there, though, right? Like, I'm not going to say it's 100% neutral, but I'm going to say it's like, you know, you're fine enough to be. Like, I think if you're at, like, these locations, it's like, Iente, like, I think Aaron's probably fine enough with you to let you be there. Moriah Shrine, I think Konako's fine enough with you to be there. SDM, Remy's fine enough with you to let you be there. Ah! Yeah, what if you don't start hitting on Kaguya? Also, what the fuck? That's talking like you're gonna see Kaguya. What does she do? She leaves her room once a day to go fight Moko, and then she goes back in her room. You're not gonna see shit of Kaguya. When are you gonna go hit on her? Also, don't hit on Kaguya when you can hit on Aaron, right? But I'm not picking any of these locations based off of potential romance with whatever fucking character you want the most. I just think practicality of those two locations are some of the better non-human village places. That was such a bad line, too, and so early. Ick! That was a really bad death. Yeah, Renosuke scavenger that moon sector. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, 11. 11's just gonna pick the heaven because she wants to flirt. Because he wants to flirt with Tenchi. I pretend that everything will be fine because of that. Dude, you said that to SCM. What places do you like, Game Glitcher? Christians when they go to heaven, but instead of God and Jesus, it's fucking Tenchi. I think the Mjorn Temple is a pretty fair place to go. I think I pick Ian, like I said, I pick Iante or Mariah's Shrine over it, but I think the Mjorn Temple is pretty fair. Divine Spirit Mausoleum I'm unsure about. Was that a little bit to the right than normal? I think it might have been. I messed up my line, but I knew how I messed it up, and I knew how to recover it, so... Beautiful! I want score, but I'm not going to play too greedy right now. Let that 20,000 faith go down the drain! The Hot Gray Shrine, I feel like, is a bad place. Or definitely lower on the list. Sanai, calm yourself. We're gonna be roommates. You're gonna have to chill out a little bit. Hello, Hobbs. Eh! Oh, fuck. That was tight. Snipe, move over to the left, please. I hate having a little bit of pressure. The eyes behind the times. I'm sorry, you want a Touhou character talk to you about Skippy Toilet? Die? Good grief, that fairy takes forever to die. I gotta kill him. That non is not fun to do. I've gotten like solid at it and I feel like fine generally doing it, but it is not a fun non to do under pressure. Don't divine my prompt. Pretty tame. Make sure we move her to the right. Of course, not now. Don't forget to kiss your Kaneko. Huh? Last time I was here, I 2-missed to Divine Virtues. One step at a time. Make sure you bait her to the right. As much as I love this attack, fuck, this attack is so much of a worse final than Sub-Sun. I saw the middle and I just went too far to the right. Whatever. 3 miss is still a PB. Good run. I missed a really, really tight miss to Momiji. I actually, was a hair off of having that Momiji. I died to Peerless Wind God, but the Peerless Wind God death was really sad because it was so early. Good run. Did not ever run into this Kage shoving the rainbow down our throats. Yeah, but Kaneko does a lot of that. Divine Virtue's a Wind God is kind of shoving a rainbow down your throat if you look at it, right? How hard is it to beat a cat Peerless in the middle? Probably the hardest. Probably harder than any normal cat in the entire game. Like, it's not this game, but like in general in Touhou. Peerless Wind. Okay, why am I being called? Hold on.